Fabio Quartararo is an actual superhuman, and here's why. I said this in my last video, but by the end of this video, I can almost guarantee that you'll be convinced that Fabio Quartararo is not only one of the fastest riders on the grid, but quite possibly the fastest. Now, I know that may come as a surprise to some of you, considering my slight affinity for Marc Marquez. But after watching what Fabio has done on that Yamaha this year, it's getting impossible to ignore just how good he is on a motorcycle, and how deserving he is of a bike capable of fighting for a championship. Allow me and Kitty to explain. Top speed isn't everything in MotoGP, but it is a lot of things. And unfortunately, much to the chagrin of our flying Frenchman, the factory Yamaha M1 has been near the bottom of the grid in that category all year. After 21 of 22 rounds, Fabio's average position through the speed trap, which is the measurement of a rider's top speed through every session of the weekend, was a lowly 18th, while his average finishing position in Sunday Grand Prix was 10th. 9th if you don't count his technical DNF in Silverstone, where he led the entire race before his bike broke down on lap 12 of 19. I think we're all still crying from that one, Fabio. That's an insane disparity when you consider that, by and large, the riders fighting for decent points or even at the front of the grid each week are also not typically in the bottom half of the speed trap, let alone at the very bottom, as has often been the case for our forlorn Fabio. That, of course, has its outliers, the KTMs namely, which I plan to cover in my upcoming video about Pedro. But they're fairly isolated in that regard, and I would say they're more inconsistent than they are totally lacking in pace as often as the fleet of Yamahas. To put it simply, we're talking about a difference of almost 12 kilometers an hour on some occasions. That's 7.5 freedom units, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the engineering arms race that is MotoGP, where 1 extra kilometer an hour can mean a slipstream pass down the main straight, or your opponent outbraking you into turn 1, it's a world of difference. As far as technology has come, it's still hard to overcome a difference to good old-fashioned horsepower. Now, I know I said already that top speed isn't everything in MotoGP, so it might sound like I'm going around in circles. And to that point, and I know it seems like I'm picking on the KTMs a little bit here, but as we've seen with them this year, if your bike is fast in a straight line, but lacks enough grip through high-speed corners, and probably more importantly, chews through tires late in the race, or breaks its damn chain, you'll struggle to win as well. The trick is to strike a balance between the two, like Aprilia and now Honda have seemingly achieved recently. And while this obviously isn't nearly as easy as it sounds, and I'm about the furthest thing from a MotoGP engineer imaginable, I personally don't think that Fabio is asking a lot from Yamaha here. Just a bike that's at least remotely capable of being in the middle of the pack on the speed trap each weekend on a consistent basis, so he doesn't have to watch helplessly while slower riders on faster bikes walk away from him down the straight each Sunday, after he's inevitably worn out his tires from wringing every single drop of pace that's humanly possible out of that Yamaha before it drops off a cliff. Thanks for watching. My name is John Boyd. This is John Boyd GP. Subscribe for more MotoGP related content, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.